Assalamualaikum everyone, I am Shahwar Zara and I hope you all are fine and safe. Today our topic of discussion is Introduction to Bioinformatics. So before we move to our main topic, that is bioinformatics, first we will discuss that what is the biological database. A biological database is a large organized body of persistent data that is usually associated with computerized software that is designed to update, query and retrieve components of the data that is stored within the system. So this is basically the definition of biological database. A simple database, it might be a single file that contains many records, each of which includes the same set of information. For example, if we take an example here, a record associated with nucleotide sequence database, it typically contains information such as contact name, the input sequence with the description of the type of molecule, the scientific name of the source organism from which it was isolated, and often it contains the literature citations that is associated with the sequence. So these all things are present in the nucleotide sequence database. Now, how a researcher he can benefit from a database, from a particular database, or the data stored in a particular database. For a researcher to benefit from the data stored in a database, two additional requirements must be met. The first requirement is easy access to the information, and the second requirement is a method for extracting only that information that is needed to answer a specific biological question. It means that a system should be present through which only the specific information can be retrieved, because if it wouldn't be able to, or you can say if it wouldn't be possible, then this system would be of no use. At NCBI is basically the abbreviation of National Center for Biotechnology Information. So at NCBI, many databases, they are linked through a unique search and retrieval system that is called as EHENTRE. EHENTRE, its spelling is ENTREZ, but its pronunciation is EHENTRE. EHENTRE, what it do is that it allows a user to not only access and retrieve specific information from a single database, but it also allows to access integrated information from many NCBI databases. For example, the EHENTRE protein database is cross-linked to the EHENTRE taxonomy database. So this cross, what it allows is that it allows the researcher to find taxonomic information for the species from which you can say that from which a protein sequence was derived. So this is how this integrated database it helps you. And this is how the data that is obtained from the biological database is helpful. Now let's move towards bioinformatics. So the term bioinformatics, it was first introduced in 1990s. Bioinformatics is conceptualizing biology in terms of molecules, means in the sense of physical chemistry, and applying informatics techniques, means derived from the disciplines such as applied maths, computer science and statistics. And why this is done? It is done in order to understand and organize the information that is associated with this molecule on a large scale. In short, bioinformatics is a management information system for molecular biology and has many practical applications. So here you can see that in bioinformatics how the data from various fields like biology, chemistry, computer science and statistics, they overlap. And this diagram, it is the best representation of the bioinformatics field. So if we see the proper definition of the bioinformatics is actually the recording, annotation, storage, analysis and searching or the retrieval of nucleic acid sequences, that is the genes and the RNAs, protein sequence and structural information. So this is basically the definition of the bioinformatics and how it is defined. This bioinformatics, It includes databases of the sequences and structural information as well as methods to assess, search, visualize, and retrieve the information. Bioinformatics concern the creation and maintenance of databases of biological information, whereby researchers can both assess existing information and submit new entries. And this bioinformatics, it has evolved into a full-fledged multidisciplinary subject that integrates developments in information and computer technology as applied to biotechnology and biological sciences. Bioinformatics, it uses computer software tools for database creation, data management, data warehousing, data mining, and global communication networking. Here I have used the term data mining. Data mining is basically the practice of examining large pre-existing databases, and why this is done, it is done in order to generate new information. So this is the data mining. Function genomics, biomolecular structure, proteome analysis, cell metabolism, biodiversity, downstream processing in chemical engineering, drug and vaccine design are some of the areas in which bioinformatics is an integral part or the integral component. So these are the fields in which the bioinformatics has a major role, and it has brought the revolution in these fields. Now we will discuss the subdisciplines of the bioinformatics. The first subdiscipline of the bioinformatics is the sequence similarity analysis. It is the area of bioinformatics that is focused on developing methods of the comparison of sequences, and this you can see means the DNA, RNA, and protein, and then need identification of those sequences that are similar. So first is the comparison of the sequences, and then the identical sequences they are identified. A comparison of genes within a species or between different species can show similarities between protein functions or relations between species. So this is how this sequence similarity analysis is important, because it shows that which protein functions they are similar between different species. The second subdiscipline is phylogenetics. Phylogenetics, it is the area of bioinformatics that is focused on developing methods, tools, and databases that use sequence similarity to generate trees. And what these trees do, or why these trees are useful, because they describe and compare evolution across species, means they tell you that how a particular species has evolved and what changes have taken place, and what that species was in the past, and now what are the advancements in that. So this is how this phylogenetics is helpful, and it is a subdiscipline in which the bioinformatics is involved. The third is the gene prediction. Gene prediction, it is the area of bioinformatics that is focused on developing methods, tools, and databases for the identification of the protein coding sequences. Means in this you identify the protein coding sequences, and all the methods they are introduced in order to identify these sequences. In the context of genomics, annotation is a process. Annotation, we have discussed previously the term. It is basically the process of marking the genes and other biological features in a DNA sequence. Annotation, how it is done, it is made possible by the fact that genes have a recognizable start and stop regions. We know that. Although the other sequences found in this region can vary between genes. Start and stop region will be same, but the center, or you can say the sequences that are found in between these regions, they may vary. The fourth is genomics, that is the assembly and you can say comparison. It is the area of bioinformatics focused on sequencing genomes, and how it is done, it is done by assembling the sequence DNA contingents in a whole genome and then comparing them to other genome. So first analysis is done. First the genome, the sequence DNA within the genome, they are identified, and then they are compared with other genomes. The core of comparative genome analysis is the establishment of correspondence between genes or other genomic features in different organisms. So this is the basic purpose of the genome analysis, you can say the genomics, to establish the correspondence between genes and other genomic features. It is these intergenomic maps that make it possible to trace the evolutionary processes, and evolutionary processes we have discussed that evolution we discussed in phylogenetics. So this is how it helps to trace the evolutionary processes that are responsible for the divergence of the two genomes, because we are doing the comparison of the two genomes. So this tells how the two genomes evolutionary processes has evolved the two genomes and what differences it has created. A multitude of evolutionary events acting at various organizational levels shape genome evolution. We know it very well. Then you have proteomics. Proteomics we have discussed in our previous lectures in detail. Proteomics, it is the area of bioinformatics that is focused on understanding the composition of the protein content and how much of each is present in all cells and tissues. Means the protein content that is present within the cell and the tissues. Development of methods and techniques, or you can say the tools, to improve identification is also very important. And the protein structure prediction is another important application of bioinformatics. So firstly, this bioinformatics, it tells us the quantity of the protein that is present within the cell and the tissue. And secondly, it tells us the protein structure, means it predicts the protein structure that is present. So these are the two important applications of the bioinformatics in this proteomics field. The amino acid sequence of the protein, or you can say it is basically the primary structure. It can be easily determined from the sequence that is present. You can say the sequence that is present on the gene that codes for it. And in the genomic branch of bioinformatics, homology is used to predict the function of the gene. So through homology, function of the gene is determined. So these were some of the subdisciplines of the bioinformatics. The other discipline of the bioinformatics, it includes RNA structure target prediction. It is the area of bioinformatics that is focused on developing methods, tools, and databases for the identification of known coding RNA, related structures, and related targets per regulation. So this is how the RNA structure target prediction is done. Then you have protein structure and modeling. It is the area of bioinformatics that is focused on developing methods, tools, and databases for the protein structure determination and prediction. We have discussed this in proteomics, but another protein structure modeling is also the same. Prediction is done with a given protein sequence or function or structure of similar protein. By comparison it is done. Then you have gene expression analysis. It is focused on developing methods and databases for profiling expressed genes, known coding RNAs, and the proteins. So this is done through the gene expression analysis. Then you have the regulation. It is focused on developing methods for the discovery and understanding of those factors that regulate gene expression and the protein modification. Basically, the proteomics, protein structure and modeling, gene expression analysis, and regulation, they are basically focused on determining the structure of the protein and the position of the regulation of the gene expression and the protein modification. Then you have the subdiscipline that is system biology. It is an area that is focused on developing methods and the databases that aims an in silico real-time system. And this in silico real-time system, it mimics life for a given cell, species, condition, time, exposure, environment, etc. Here I have used the term in silico. In silico is basically a term that is used in scientific experiments or research, and This scientific experiment or research, it is conducted or produced by means of computer modeling or computer simulation. And in silico method, it refers to the method of prediction using computational approaches, in short. And they have the advantage that they can make fast predictions for large set of compounds in high throughput mode. So that's why this in silico studies, they are important, and they are important in understanding the system biology. System biology involves the use of computer simulations of cellular subsystems such as the networks of metabolites and enzymes that comprise metabolism, signal transduction pathways, and gene regulatory networks to both analyze and visualize the complex connections of these cellular processes. Now we will discuss the skill set that is needed for by the bioinformatician. It continues to change over time as both the type and the amount of information continues to expand, and as a result the proficiency bar in bioinformatics, it continues to rise along with the demand for talented bioinformaticians. Then you have another thing that we will discuss, some other disciplines, you can say, the knowledge and skills that is needed to work in the field of bioinformatics. It is the biology and the genetic knowledge. So the knowledge of means the knowledge that is needed by a bioinformatician in order to study this field. So this knowledge is basically about the biology and genetic knowledge, and knowledge of biology and genetics is essential for this field because a hand in molecular biology, cancer biology, human physiology, etc. What it will do, it will help one to be a bioinformatician. So a bioinformatician should have the knowledge of molecular biology, cancer biology, human physiology. Along with that, more specific techniques like next generation sequencing, that was NGS, and we have discussed it before. Computational genomics and proteomics should also be that informatician should have expertise in these fields. Then that bioinformatician, he or she must know that how to use the bioinformatic tools, means they should know the sequence alignment tools such as BLAST or Bauti, the genome analysis toolkit, software for next generation sequencing, microarray, qPCR, and data analysis tools for handling high throughput sequencing data like SAM tools, and to get gene data sets, and tools that is used to get gene data sets, and tools for database search systems. Then the bioinformatician should have statistical skills that are these statistical skills are basically essential requirement, and they should know how to operate the statistical software systems such as SPSS and SCS, and they should know how to do the analysis, statistical analysis with Python or R. They should have programming skills as well, and these programming skills will help them a lot in data analysis process, and they should be familiar with one or more of these programming languages like you have Python, Java, and moreover machine learning tools and libraries such as MLIB in Python, they are useful to learn. So therefore the informatician, in order to become, or you can say that in order to study the bioinformatics, one should have knowledge of all these skills. Lastly, they should have database management skills, and this requirement includes traditional, you can say relational databases, which are bases of SQL and SQL Server and Oracle. You know these softwares, and they also should know about the NoSQL databases. So these are some of the skills that a bioinformatician require in order to study the bioinformatics. So here in the diagram, bioinformatic areas are shown and how these are linked. So bioinformatics computation languages, like I have told you, Bio, Java, and C++, biostatistics, proteomics, genomics, computational biology, database management system, informatics, and systematic biology. So these are basically the bioinformatic areas, and you can see that how these all are linked. So we have discussed Introduction and the basis of the bioinformatics. Now the question arises that why it is essential to study the bioinformatics and why is bioinformatics so important. So the rationale for applying computational approaches is to facilitate the understanding of various biological processes. It includes, firstly, the need for bioinformatics has arisen from the recent explosion of publicly available genomic information, such as that the genomic information that has resulted from Human Genome Project. So in order to organize it and in order to make it publicly available and in the organized form, so that's why this bioinformatics was needed. Then the second reason is to gain a better understanding of gene analysis, taxonomy and evolution. We have discussed in the first slide that how the integrated knowledge can be obtained. Then to work efficiently on the rational drug designs and to reduce the time taken for the development of drug manually. Then to gain, or you can say that to get the more global perspective in experimental design. Lastly, this bioinformatics is important because it has the ability to capitalize on the emerging technology of data mining. And data mining we have discussed before, but here I will repeat again that the process by which testable hypotheses are generated regarding the function or the structure of the gene or protein of interest, and this is done by identifying similar sequences in better characterized organism. So this is basically the database mining. So these are all the reasons why this bioinformatics is so important. So this was for today's lecture, and it was all about the introduction to bioinformatics. In the next lecture we will discuss about the levels of bioinformatics and the scope, and we will discuss that what is the difference between the bioinformatics and computational biology. I hope you have understood what we have discussed so far, and if you want to read all these things in a written form, then you can visit these sites. And thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.